video on how to translate and transcribe a DNA sequence brought to you by the Daily Microbe. Today we're going to be showing you how to translate and transcribe a sequence step by step so you know how to get an A on your test. So, right here is our original DNA sequence. It goes from 5' to 3', and you can see that this is the -10 region, which is in the promoter region, and your +1 is where your G is at. So the first step is to transcribe your DNA sequence, and you want to remember here that you are not using U's, you are only using T's for your A's. So again, your underlying sequence is your -10 region. Since the original sequence is in the 5' to 3' direction, which is the coding strand, you want to transcribe your sequence going from the 3' to the 5' direction, which is the template strand. You also want to remember that you want to transcribe your A base to a T base and your T base to an A base, and you want to transcribe your C base to a G base and your G base to a C base. Also, another really important thing to remember is you want to start transcribing on and after your +1 region. You will not transcribe anything before your +1 region because this is the promoter region, which is not transcribed into the DNA sequence. So, again, your direction will be 3' to 5'. You will start on or after your G. Well, you will start on your G, which is your +1 region, and then you will transcribe all the way through. And that is step 1. For step 2, we'll be translating our mRNA sequence that we got in step 1. So since we went from 3' to 5', now our sequence will be from 5' to 3'. Since now we're translating the mRNA sequence, we will be using U's for our A's, T's for our A's, and C's for our G's, and G's for our C's. Another important thing to remember in step 2 is that our answer that we get here will be the same sequence as our original sequence. Step 1 is just a way to help you. For step 3, you want to start looking for your start and stop codons. Remember, your start codon is AUG, and this will be your FMET. It's important to label it as FMET, as in first methionine, because it will distinguish it from other METs or methionines in the DNA sequence. Your stop codons are UAG, UAA, and UGA, and any of these can be in the sequence as the stop codon. So, referring back to the answer that we got in step 2, we'll see here that AUG is right here, so that will be your start codon, and this is where you will start coding for your proteins. You move along the sequence until you find a stop codon, and in this case, our stop codon is right here, which is UAG. For step 4, you want to start coding from the start to stop codons. In this case, our start codon was AUG, and our stop codon was UAG. So, you also want to remember here, which is a really important thing to remember, is you only code for the amino acids starting from the start codon to the end codon. You do not code for anything before your start codon, which would be this area here, and anything after your stop codon, which is anything after UAG. A codon sheet will be provided for you to help code for the correct proteins. So let's start. So our answer would include everything starting from your start codon all the way to your stop codon. Our first start codon is AUG, which is FMET. And if we go over to our codon sheet, if you start at A, and then you look at U at the top, and then you come down all the way at the bottom to match it up with G for AUG, it says MET. That would be FMET, our first methionine. Our second codon is GGG, So again, if we go to our sheet, we look at G on our sheet, we find G at the top, and we come down and meet, and then G is here at the bottom. That would give you gly. So that is your second protein. And then you would do that for the rest of your codons, and you would get gly for GGA, Lu for UUA, Ser for UCA, Lu for UUA, Ala for GCA, Val for GUA, Glu for GAA, ILE for AUC, and gly for GGA, and then finally we come down to our stop for our UAG, and you do write in stop in your protein sequence. So finally, this is how our final protein sequence will look like. And then for step 5, we're all done here. Remember to check your work and follow all directions carefully, and have fun with it.